Hi everyone, and welcome to the Imperial Wealth YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at the top 7 cryptocurrency exchanges with the lowest fees. These are all going to be centralized exchanges, so these are companies that have custody of your cryptocurrency while you have it on their platform, as opposed to a decentralized exchange, which is an application that runs on top of a blockchain network. So Uniswap is a decentralized exchange built upon the Ethereum blockchain, where you always keep custody of your own cryptocurrency in a wallet such as your MetaMask wallet, which we've covered earlier. So if you want to see which are the best exchanges with the best rates, please stick around and we'll show you right now. So it's very important, if you are going to be active in the world of cryptocurrency trading or buying and selling, that you check out the fees on whatever exchange you choose to use, because they can change quite drastically from one exchange to another. And there are also ways within one exchange of lowering your fees. So we'll have a look at how we can do that as well. So you will actually pay a fee when you buy cryptocurrency. You will pay a fee when you sell cryptocurrency on an exchange. And you'll also incur a fee when you swap one cryptocurrency for another. So some exchanges have an inbuilt swap feature like Binance and CoinSwap, but we're going to go over that now. So I'm going to go to coingecko.com. There are two main websites where we can see a list of all the exchanges and cryptos. Most people use either CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. I've just always preferred CoinGecko. And then what we're going to do is navigate to where it says exchanges. And if you're ever curious, by clicking on crypto exchanges to see what are the top exchanges in the world, this will order them by the trust score, but also by the 24-hour volume. So we can see that by far the world's largest centralized exchange is Binance, with in the last 24 hours, $11 billion of volume. The next exchange down is only about 15% of that volume. So you can see how much of a market leader Binance is. We've got the Coinbase exchange, OKX, and you can go down the list and have a look. Now, I might add that depending on which country you live in, it might restrict your access to some of these exchanges. So always check out, like Binance now was initially banned in the US, but now they have got a Binance US. And in Australia, we have a Binance Australia. So I've popped together a little spreadsheet here for you, and I'm going to cover each one of these briefly and tell you a few things about each one. So FTX comes in at number 1, and they have a very cheap fee structure. If you are a market maker, you will get 0.02% as your fee, and if you're a market taker, you get 0.07. Now, the difference between a market maker and a market taker is if you are just buying at market, if you're hitting the market buy and you're just getting the cryptocurrency at whatever price it's trading at on that day, you are a taker. You get the taker fee. Whereas if you are providing liquidity on an exchange, so you have sell orders or buy orders using the limit order feature, that makes you a market maker. So this right here is a really good example, and I like to tell everybody, never do market buying. You never really need to buy a cryptocurrency that bad that you need it that second. You can pop in a limit order and wait a few hours, and you'll be surprised. You can get it at 1% or 2% lower than the current market with the fluctuations that day. It's a best practice if you're going to be buying crypto on the regular to learn how to make limit orders on these exchanges. And I'm sure we'll be putting up some tutorials at some stage showing you exactly how to put in a limit order or a market order. So let's have a look at the FTX page here. So this is the fees breakdown. You'll see that they have a VIP tiered list of what you'll pay as your fees. Now, most of the major cryptocurrency exchanges have this, and this usually depends on how much volume you've traded on their platform. You'll go up the levels of the VIP or the tiers, or sometimes it's how much of the native token. So most of the major exchanges have their own token. The Binance exchange has the BNB token. FTX has its own token called FTT. So you can read here that if you're staking the FTT token, you can have a 0 maker fee, which is really good. You'll see to get that 0% fee just from your trading volume, you'd have to trade $25 million worth of volume to get that. So it's much easier just to stake their token. So also each of these exchanges has a security rating. So you'll see here that the security rating for this is A, and I got these security ratings from this website here, which is called certifiedcer.live. Now we will be leaving links to all these exchanges and these websites that I mentioned in the description of this video. So you can check on any exchange here. I'm going to type in Binance, and you'll see here that it has a AAA security rating. You can also see that the Binance US has a AAA. So all of the good ones will have an A, AA, or AAA rating. And then anything with a B, you have to be a bit more careful about storing your funds on these exchanges. In general, it's best to store your cryptocurrency in your own private wallets anyway, and only keep funds on an exchange that you're going to be actively trading. That way, if the exchange ever gets hacked, you will not lose your funds that you have on the exchange because you've got private custody of them in your wallet. You'll see here that I've also listed KYC, which means know your customer. And this means that you will have to provide your identification and your details like your name, address, and phone number to get verified to trade on these platforms. And the KYC requirements change from country to country. Out of all the exchanges that we're covering today, KuCoin is the only one that does not require you to have a KYC. But if you don't have a KYC on KuCoin, you'll have a limited daily deposit and withdrawal, and you'll have to do the KYC to increase that. So next, we're going to look at Binance. Binance has a 0.1%, so that's very good, very low. You'll see that the top 4 here have very low trading fees. Binance has a AAA security rating, and it also requires you to be KYC. You'll see here that Binance does have a similar VIP system depending on how much BNB you hold. And if you do pay your trading fees in BNB, you can take that fee from 0.1% down to 0.075%. Now that might not seem a lot, but if you're trading regularly and especially with large amounts of money, let's say you're doing buy and sell orders for well over $10,000, instead of paying $10 per trade, you'll be paying $7.50. So it will start to really add up after a while. Now, unfortunately, Binance removed their ability to do leveraged token trading, and they've restricted their margin trading in Australia. I'm not sure how that applies to other countries, but FTX is currently one of the better platforms to do leverage and margin trading in Australia. They had some problems with running into legal problems in Australia they had up to 125 times leverage. Now I think they do offer a margin trading, but it's only up to 10 times on Bitcoin and 3 times leverage on certain tokens. Now the next one is KuCoin. You can see that the fee structure on KuCoin is very similar to Binance and FTX, and they have their own native token called the KCS. So you can get a 20% discount, very similar to Binance, 0.1% fees on your trades. And then if you pay with KCS, you can get 0.08. So those fees are very good. Now, 2 that I haven't used so much, but I have tested out are OKX and Coinbase Pro. OKX is very similar. It's quite high in the world for its volume, number 3 currently. It also requires a KYC. It has a A-tier security rating. And I also might mention now, all of these centralized exchanges have the option for 2-factor authentication. It is very important that if you are storing funds on an exchange, you enable 2-factor authentication. So that means that you will need to get a SMS message on your phone or use the Google Authenticator as a second layer of security to log into your account. I would highly suggest this as a best practice on all centralized exchanges to pop your 2-factor authentication on. So on the OKX, we've got a tiered level of VIPs here. There's regular users and VIP users, and we've got maker and taker fees that are very similar. The maker fee is 0.08% and the taker fee is 0.1%. So this is a very cheap exchange to be trading tokens on. Coinbase has been around for a long time, and you can see that their fees are substantially higher. They have a pricing tier depending on how much you're trading. So for amounts under $10,000, the maker fee is 0.4% and the taker fee is 0.6%. So you can see that if you're going to be trading regularly on Coinbase, those are really going to start to add up because the fees are actually 5 times the amount that you'll pay on these other platforms. So I've just popped an average of the maker and the taker fee there. But you can see why it really is important to become a market maker and not always be a market taker. If you are trading larger amounts, those fees go down, but this is only really for crypto whales up in the 50 to 100,000 and the $1 million range. The last 2 exchanges are quite different to the other 5. The last 2 are smaller exchanges with their headquarters based in Australia. And they are companies that only take on Australian customers, and they are quite a lot more simple to use than some of these exchanges. The trading interface on Binance and KuCoin can be a little bit intimidating for first-time users. So CoinSpot and SwiftX are actually really great exchanges for people who are just getting into crypto and they just want to buy their first amount of crypto. You'll see that you will pay a substantially higher fee on SwiftX and CoinSpot. CoinSpot was the very first exchange that I ever used. And the reason I like CoinSpot is they have ways to pay straight out of your bank account or with a card, and you can just buy crypto. And then they also have same day withdrawals with Australian dollars. So you can sell a cryptocurrency on CoinSpot and have it in your bank account within about an hour. So that's really handy. It's known as a fiat gateway. So you can take your normal money, convert it into Bitcoin or any other of the altcoins, and then store it on their exchange and then sell it and get it back into your bank account. Or you can actually keep your cryptocurrency in a cold wallet or an offline wallet. And then when you think there's a good price, you can send it to your CoinSpot and sell that and cash it out into your bank account. This is the CoinSpot market orders area, and you'll see there's not that big a list of tokens, but you can put in limit orders this way. But what I like is you can go to the buy sell, and for beginners, this is really handy because you can literally just go, they've got a big list of tokens here, and this is listed by market cap. So let's say I wanted to go down and just buy any one of these cryptocurrencies. Let's say I wanted some Pancake Swap. If I load up some funds into my account from my bank account into my CoinSpot account, I can simply select buy and it'll make the order for me and it will put the fee into the price that I'm paying. It's very simple. It's just a simple buy and sell button. Because it's so simple, you are paying that higher fee because they're doing market orders for you and just getting that. And that's why the fee is a bit higher. For the beginners, CoinSpot and SwiftX are great. The usual path when people are new to crypto is they start out with a fiat gateway like CoinSpot, SwiftX. There are a few more in Australia like CoinJar where they get their initial buys of Bitcoin or Ethereum. And then when they get a bit more interested in actually trading those tokens on the regular, if they want to do some day trading or just some swing trading from week to week, it's much better to then send that Bitcoin that you've bought or that Ethereum across from your wallet in the CoinSpot over to something like FTX, Binance, or KuCoin, where you get a more advanced trading screen and you get much lower fees. That's what I've been doing over the years. My main trading platforms have been Binance and FTX. And I really like KuCoin because they have the largest amount of tokens available. You can get a lot of altcoins on there that are not available on any of those other platforms. Now, because SwiftX and CoinSpot are smaller Australian-based exchanges, I couldn't find a security rating for them, but I know that both companies are very secure and they are members of Blockchain Australia. They're certified, they've been operating for many years. With that said, it is always a best practice to not store your cryptocurrency on exchanges. So all of these platforms are free to join. So if you want to start having a look at some of their interfaces, their trading interfaces, and what coins they have available, We will leave links to all of these exchanges. Open up an account and start playing around. And eventually, after using a few, you'll probably find your favorite one that suits your trading method and with a user interface that suits your needs best. And that brings us to the end of this educational video about 7 cryptocurrency exchanges with low fees. This is by all means not an exhaustive list, but these are ones that I have had some experience with, and these are some of the biggest exchanges in the world. Feel free to go over to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and have a look at all the other exchanges that are available. It's a big, wide world out there in crypto. Thank you so much. Make sure if you found this content valuable, you do subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.